I'm Kathleen McGiveron, and in this episode I'm going to talk about, can you varnish acrylic paint? Can acrylic paintings be varnished? That's what I'm going to talk about in this episode. So let's dive in on this episode and let's get inspired. Alright, number one is yes, you can varnish your acrylic paints, and yes, you should. This is to, one, change the texture on the surface, so you can make it glossy, you can make it satin, or you can make it matte, depending on the varnish that you use. Typically go for glossy, but it's up to you. It depends on what you would like. You can also preserve your artwork for archival purposes. You're going to prevent it from yellowing and just prevent it from getting damaged through varnishing it. So this is why we want to varnish our works when done. So that's number one. Number two is, when should you varnish? You should varnish after your paint has fully dried. I don't know if it says on my, let me just grab a tube. My studio is small, it's right beside me. All right, this one says, does it say has its pigments? I don't. It says, okay, it doesn't say. Essentially, we're going to want to apply varnish when it's done drying all the way. When it's done drying all the way. So I would say, like, I mean, it's going to be dry in 24 hours. If you want to make sure that there's no moisture underneath and that you're not trapping it and going to prevent it from cracking or crazing or whatever, give it a week. Give it at least 72 hours before you start applying varnish. Give it a week if you want to be crystal sure. You don't have to, but if you have the time, let it dry and then varnish. That's what I say. But 72 hours would be great for acrylic painting. Double check with your manufacturer, but I mean, I've done it sooner. It has not been a problem. But I mean, don't go with what I've done. Just give it some time and then you're good to go. It's not like oil painting where it takes a long time to get through all the layers to dry. So just, yeah, I think there's no problem. Just give it 72 hours to a week. You're good to go. Varnish it up. All right, my friend, my question for you is this. What questions do you have when it comes to acrylic painting? Let me know in the comment section below the video. Number three, types of varnish. So there are different varnishes. So there's different finishes. Like I said before, there is gloss, so you want a really shiny surface. There is satin, which is a slightly shiny surface. And there is matte, which is a flat, not shiny surface. So you'll pick your varnish depending on what kind of surface finish you want. But there's also two types of varnish. So there is a liquid varnish. Everybody has their own brand. Every brand, has their own name or type. This one is the Gamblin Gloss Varnish. And this one is for oil and acrylic paintings. It's odorless, right? It saturates the colors, which is super nice. It actually saturates the colors and makes it look even richer, and gives your surface your finished painting a natural looking, unified, protective, glossy surface. Then you let this dry for 24 to 36 hours. It goes a really long way. You apply thinly with a brush. A little goes a long way. And it says make sure your painting's dry and hard. So again, I would give it a week if it's acrylic. A lot longer for oil. Anyways, Denver Gloss, super awesome. I'll link to this in the description below the video. Know that it is an Amazon affiliate link, so that means that I do get a commission if you purchase it. But if you want to check it out on Amazon, link below in the description of the video. There's also a spray version of varnishes. So everybody has their own brands. I always use Golden, or I use Gamblin, and Winsor Newton for everything. So the Golden is acrylic painting. Golden, for me, for acrylics, I use Golden and Winsor Newton. For oil painting, I use Gamblin and Winsor and Newton. And for watercolor painting, I use Winsor and Newton. So these are spray can aerosol versions, so spraying them. You'll want to do this in a ventilated area. And I I suggest wearing a respirator. 1 second, I'll get there. A respirator. Because you don't want to breathe anything in. Anytime you're making something into something that you can get into your lungs, you do not want to, you want to take precautions. It's probably fine, but no, it says don't do it. If breathed in, move person to a fresh air. Do not induce vomiting. Anyways, why take a chance? Anyway, here you go. So this is Golden's. This one is Archival Varnish. So this is their higher leveled one. Extreme danger, poison, very flammable. Archival Varnish. And then this one is, this one's satin. I think I can recycle this. I don't think there's anything in it. And anyways, you're gonna want to do layers with these. So, but basically it's varnishing. It protects UV protection, increases UV testing shows. It says testing shows that UV protection increases as layers of varnish are added, and protection occurs with the application of 1 or 2 coats. But very fugitive materials may require as many as 6 coats of varnish for optimum fade resistance. All right, there you go. Okay, that's Golden, an old can. This is a Winsor & Newton. This one's just general purpose high gloss. Protects from dust, moisture. Removable. I don't know how you do that, but anyways. That is somebody else to look into. If you want to know how to remove varnish, I am not the person to ask. Just being honest. Alright, but it's ideal for paper, wood, metal, modeling materials. I've used it on my ceramic sculptures sometimes, depending on what you're doing. Oh, it's removable with mineral spirit or turpentine, so there you go. Alright, same idea as the other one. Exactly the same, but this is just their brand. And it's full. Alright, I think that's it. Oh yeah, how to varnish. So number 4 is how to varnish. Well, if you're doing these, you're going to go to a well-ventilated area, a spray booth outside, or a respirator, and you're going to stand 9 to 12 inches away and go pshh, like that. That's everything. It's just air coming out. Oh, nope, came out. Alright, 9 to 12 inches away, spray, 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 big even coats, let it dry, 10 minutes or so. 10 minutes? Oh, 15 to 20 minutes in between coats. It is not odorless, let me tell you, and that was a little bit. 15 to 20 minutes between coats, and then you change the spray direction, or move your canvas, or thing, and then apply another coat. The other one is liquid one. This is Gamvar. So each liquid one might have different instructions, so read the instructions. This one you do a thin coat, so like a little goes a long way, so that's what it says on here. A quarter size amount covers a 20 by 20 centimeter painting. Let dry 24 to 36 hours. A little goes a long way. This is Gamvar. Gamblin Gamvar gloss varnish. And then you just take a nice flat brush. I like to use, I don't have it here. Do I? Oh yeah, I do. I like to take a nice flat brush. There's a nice liquid text here. Look at that. It's a little crunchy because I use it for, I don't know why it's dusty, but it's crunchy because I use it for my varnish. Then I go psh. That's when I use it on a smaller brush. I have nice big wide humongous ones as well. Paint on your varnish and then let it dry nice and long for very saturated glossy finish. Alright, so if you're wanting to look into any of those gloss applicators or varnishes, any of those varnishes, make sure you check out the description below the video for my recommendations for that. They are Amazon affiliate links, so that means that I do get a commission, but if you want to start your research, that is where to start. And I think that's it. So if you're looking for the next video to watch, make sure you watch How to Get Better Than 99% of Artists. You can watch that by clicking the link above or in the description of the video, and I'll see you in that episode.